Hello and welcome to the C-Jack Podcast. This is your host, C-Jack. And today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a podcast with my buddy Mac. He'll be with us here in a short while. And before he gets here, I just want to thank all you guys for listening to this podcast each and every week. I've been trying to get a hold of Mac for a while, and he's finally agreed to do this podcast with me. Our schedule's finally lined up to where he's able to do it. And I would actually like to have him on here more, so we'll talk to him about that and see what else we can maybe work out in the future for having Mac on here. I'm sure you guys are going to love the podcast I do with him. I did one last time I did my show, and that was actually the debut episode I put on YouTube, and views went through the roof on this one, so on that one. So you guys seem to kind of like Mac and enjoy me and his collaborations together, and us just kind of hanging out and shooting the shit, and it seemed to get pretty good reviews, and so he's going to be back with us today, and we'll get to the interview in a moment. As always, you can always find me on Twitter at only1cjack, and that is only one. One is spelled out, and the C and the J and C-Jack is capitalized. And you can also find me on YouTube. This also drops on Castbox every week, live on Wednesdays, or not Wednesdays, but on Thursday. And we will be with Mac in just a moment. I hope you guys enjoy the podcast, and then I'll come back and we'll talk about what's coming to the future. And this is a C-Jack Podcast with Mac. All right, I'm here with my buddy Mac. How's it going, Mac?
What up?
I've been trying to get you on this podcast for a while. Our schedules they don't seem to line up very well.
You know what? I apologize for that. Anyway, what we can talk about?
It's not all your fault. I mean, I'm only here on the weekends, so it doesn't really help you out at all. I mean, I know it's normally not as busy during the week for you.
Yeah.
But we finally got here to do it, and one of the reasons why I wanted to get you back on here so bad is because the last time you were on here, that was actually the highest rated episode I'd had. Just something about our collaboration and the way we bounce stuff off of each other, just they seem to love it, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Get out of here. That's crazy.
That got it got 10 views, which I know it don't seem like a lot, but
I know how
within the first 24 hours on YouTube.
That's dope.
And then when I was putting it on, I think I was on SoundCloud at the time. Mm-hmm. It got overall. Last time I checked, it had over 1,000 views.
Whoa!
And now I haven't put that one on Castbox because I've actually lost the file since then and everything.
Okay.
But if you want to check it out, guys, you can always go to SoundCloud, or it is there on my YouTube page. I mean,
very cool.
They seem to like it, and I thought you were one of the best guests. You were my first guest, and
I was your first.
you were my first, but since then I can also say you've been the best.
Well, I appreciate that, man. For real. So what we gonna talk about today, man? What we gonna talk about? We gonna shoot the crap?
Yeah, that's kind of what I told him. I said we're just gonna shoot the shit, talk a little bit about wrestling, talk about where you're at, kind of with your stuff.
Okay, cool, man, cool. All right, let's talk about a little wrestling real quick. What we got coming up? We got
Well, this Sunday is going to be the WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view where we're recording it. I'm not really sure when I'm going to release this podcast because the one I'm doing for the week we're in, I'm doing one. I'm going to actually do predictions for that. So I might release this one either the week after or in a couple weeks because I'm trying to decide on. It depends on how good this pay-per-view is. Because if it's good, I'm going to do a breakdown podcast.
Oh, you got to have to do it regardless. You got to do it regardless. Come on now.
And I'm not sure you've seen them or not, but I do have the breakdown of the matches up. Or at least the Cesaro, Sheamus.
When?
I just put them up today. I'd been having problems.
Okay, I'm like, no, I ain't getting none.
I'm not sure. I don't know if I hit it to where it's gonna release later tonight or not.
Okay,
I was kind of half asleep when I did it.
Okay. Come like, no, I ain't getting nothing. No
I'd had them recorded for a while, and YouTube, for some reason, my page, it was acting weird and everything.
Okay.
But I actually got him up now, and like I said, I was half asleep when I was doing it, so I'm not sure quite when I scheduled it to release.
Hey.
But they're on there nonetheless, and
you know I'm gonna check it.
I know you got it set up to get the notification, and
Yeah. I listened to the one with you and John. Gave me a little shout out in there. Tip my hat. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, you had some really nice things to say about Mark. Mark is a different type of guy, man.
Man, he's not a bad guy. He's really not a bad guy, and I wasn't trying
He's
to.
not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's the guy.
A little bit of Roman Reigns-esque in there, huh?
He's the guy at the unnamed college.
And see, I don't know. Roman Reigns kind of wrestles circles around Mark, but
oh, you never know. Is Mark married to that one?
No, they've just been together forever. So if they still had the law, it would be common law marriage. But
Okay.
they don't have the law anymore here in the great, not great state of Illinois. Yeah, the state that made law.
All the crooks and everything. We got love Illinois.
Well, this podcast here in the future, it might actually be dated, and it might be like a time capsule podcast because they've talked about dispersing Illinois in different states, buying different parts of it. So
Wonderful.
this may be on the internet, 20 years from now, and people will be like, "What the hell was Illinois?"
Illinois.
What was this?
Know Indiana North.
I know where Chicago is. That's kind of its own state now, but
Goodness gracious. Okay, so we got the pay-per-view coming up.
the pay-per-view's coming up for SmackDown. That is going to be the SmackDown Live pay-per-view.
First of all, we got to give a big RIP to Brian Pillman 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. That was...
Man, I don't know if you remember Brian Pillman.
I do. Man. He was way ahead of his time.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable how good that guy was.
I often like to think that if Brian Pillman were there today, that wrestling would be a lot more popular today than.
Oh my! What? Man, well, people forget. I don't know if you probably don't forget because you're a big wrestling head. The angle that he had with Steve Austin when he brought the gun on TV.
That was crazy, dude.
I remember watching it live. Well, first of all, it was crazy because they were messing up. They had when they were supposed to go a commercial, they didn't go a commercial.
Right.
And then they were showing they're going over the script and everything like that. I'm like, what am I watching right now? But anyway, it came back and he was like, yeah. He's like, Austin 316 or whatever. Well, I have what was something, Colt 45, not Colt, whatever he had. I'm like, pull the gun out, everybody. Oh my Lord. That's when Vince McMahon was like, he'll never have a gun ever again on TV.
See, and
I loved it.
I think they've came out since then and said that wasn't supposed to happen.
Okay.
That wasn't scripted. Because I know there's been a lot of controversy about that. And I think Austin has actually said that nobody knew that was going to happen.
For real?
Yeah, I think don't quote me on that, but I think I remember him saying something like that.
If he did that on his own, hey, he's better than I even thought he was. I thought he was pretty great.
I mean, come on, you were talking about a guy who wrestled a pencil.
Oh.
Remember the giant pencil he wrestled? I mean, he made that entertaining. I got to give it to him.
I mean, to come up with the crap he came up with back then, brilliant.
Yeah, and see, there's things that he came up with that was way ahead of its time.
Ahead.
I mean, that was just way ahead of its time, and I like to think that there's some wrestlers that if he was still around, the company would be in a different shape than it is now, and certain wrestlers might still be in the company. Because
okay, all right, let's get to it. Cause I know where you're getting at.
You know who I'm talking about,
Punk.
Mr. Punk.
I know where you're getting at.
I would like to, just because I think if Brian Pillman was still around, And him and Punk had a run together, either being a tag team or rivalry or whatever. That might have skyrocketed Punk's career even more and a little bit faster than it did.
I don't think he would have stayed though.
See, I don't know. It depends.
You know,
It
Punk
depends.
is great, and he had Daniel Bryan coming up. You remember that?
Yeah.
He had Seth Rollins. He had like guys like Future to work with, but it wasn't the people around him. It was the company. He was burned.
That and I know Punk's came out before, so I can say this. I remember the podcast Punk did with Colt Cabana. Thank you. Not right after. I guess it was a couple months after he walked away.
On Thanksgiving, I remember.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And
nope, you can't.
so like I was saying, Punk was on a podcast with Colt Cabana. He actually came out and said that while he was doing his face run,
Yep.
he was above Cena on T-shirt sales. And that's when Vince came to him and he said, "Hey, we're going to make you turn heel." And Punk basically said to Vince, he's like, "What the hell are you talking about? I'm above Cena on T-shirt sales. I'm your biggest star right now, and you're telling me I'm turning heel?" It just didn't make any sense to Punk. And Punk's whole logic behind it is it's because he was beating Cena in T-shirt sales, and he had surpassed Cena as far as being the top guy.
That.
And he hated that because he thought he'd earned a spot.
He did.
Which he did, no thanks to Vince.
No.
And
Oh, it pisses me off, man.
and see, what I'm getting at is I'm thinking maybe if Pillman was still around today, or he came into the company and was with today's stars, maybe Cena wouldn't be the monster he is, as far as Vince letting nobody surpass him.
Oh, I don't know.
But see, then again, he might just turn around and make Pillman a jobber, which that wouldn't be any use of Pillman's talent.
But let's keep everything in mind. Like, Pillman was more mid-card at the time. He had a main event, gimmick. Main event gimmick, but he was mid-card.
Yeah, he never got his main event push.
Exactly. You remember what was going on during that time, right? It was the Hart Foundation when Bret Hart was in the Hart family or whatever, and all them guys from Canada, they were banding together and all that. And that's the last time he was really around and alive. But it was DX and Shawn Michaels and all that. That was going on,
But see, even the thing about it is we talk about how he was middle card back then. But back then it really wasn't bad to be middle card because you had that great locker room of stars. I mean, everybody was a top guy back then at one point or another.
It was getting close to that point. Like right after he died and the Attitude Era came in, everybody was over.
Yeah, because he was right before that.
Right before. He kicked it in. That's why I'm like, oh, if he was there during the Attitude Era, I wish he was there for that.
That's right around the time Triple H was just starting to come up.
Could you imagine? Him and Triple H going at it.
Imagine if he would have joined DX at one point.
Oh my!
Just the look on your face there. You guys can't see it, but the look on his face just said it all.
God, that gave me chills. Them going against the Nation. Oh my! Him and the Rock going to get. Oh God! Promos. Oh God!
Because we know the Rock's in-ring ability, which I can't say so much for it now, just because he's not really around.
Right.
But back in the day, the Rock's in-ring ability, it was top notch.
He could work,
and the way he could bump was just amazing. The best bumps he ever did. He was the best one to ever take that stunner.
Man, I like how Austin, he's like, he'll flop like a fish.
Yep.
I love it, man.
Rock would bump off of a stunner like 4 or 5 times. It was ridiculous.
Oh, God, man.
The worst one to ever take a stunner, Vince.
Donald Trump.
You think,
or Linda.
I say, you think Donald Trump did a worse job than Vince?
Vince was pretty bad. Oh God, that was pretty
Vince
bad.
just kind of dropped and sat there and kind of shook like a dead fish or something. I don't know what the hell that was.
If we can get those times back, man. remember everybody was like, man, Ross, you just run into the house and everything. Oh, God.
And you see, everybody's wanting Austin to come out of retirement, right?
Oh, he won't.
There's only one guy Austin said he would
Punk.
think about coming out of retirement for, and that's Punk.
They better put...
And you know what? That would be a great match, but Punk don't care. Punk don't want the money. He's never wanted the money. That's the thing is, every time he's tried to walk away before he actually did, it wasn't about money to him. It was about him getting the microphone to be able to say what he wanted to say, about him getting his merchandise to sell, and about him getting the spot he has earned and not being held down anymore. And the other thing that always pissed him off before his record-breaking title run was every time he'd been given a championship, the major title, they had it within this foreseeable future of when he was going to drop said title, and that made him angry as well.
Yep, because they were trying to make him like a transitional champion, and he was way more than that. He was way over, and they were getting pissed. They're like, wait a minute, like he's like more than Randy, he's like more than John. This can't be though. Like, look at him. He's the indie king or whatever. But they didn't realize this guy is freaking money.
And that's one thing every single superstar that has gone to WWE has came out and said. It doesn't matter what you do before WWE. They don't care.
They don't. It blows my mind.
It's going to be the same if the Young Bucks ever get signed to WWE.
Man.
It's going to be the same if Kenny Omega ever gets signed.
205 Live. That's where they're going. And
I hate 205 Live. They are making such a joke out of 205 Live now, and putting Enzo Amore in that title spot on 205 Live is just making a mockery out of the cruiserweight division. And see, I don't like 205 Live. I've never really cared for it. I watched a little bit of it, and it's bad television.
It is.
But I do enjoy seeing the cruiserweights out there. I love the cruiserweight action. I love the cruiserweight classic. I was glued to the television the whole time that tournament was going on. I love the cruiserweight wrestling. And I'm not knocking the cruiserweights at all. It's just the storylines they try to make for 205 Live are stupid. That's what it comes down to. And I understand that they want to get the cruiserweights out there and they want to give them their spots, but you have 3 hours of Raw.
Like, put them in matches with freaking Rollins and things like that. You know what I mean? Like, don't just have them, put them over here. Whatever. No, these guys can go freaking Neville. Like, Neville can go with anybody. Put them in, like, don't just, 205, and you can do that, and Purple Rose.
Neville Rollins. See, you got me thinking now. Neville Rollins. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that.
You see, man, come on now. Have them work a freaking program.
If they want Enzo on 205 Live, I don't have a problem with it. But here's where they should do. Well, here's what they should do with Enzo. Either give him the commentary spot, or give him if they want him to work heel like he's doing. He does a good job working heel. I'll give him that.
He does.
Put him as a manager.
Yes, thank you.
Neville doesn't really talk a lot. He could have been Neville's manager. That would have been cool. He could be Brian Kendrick's manager. There's a few different guys that I could see him as the manager of. I could see him as the manager. Okay, think outside of 205 Live. I could see him as the manager of Braun Strowman.
That's dope. But that's why I remember you told me that before. But that was a couple weeks ago. And since then, Braun Strowman thoroughly killed him. He killed him a few times.
I know.
So.
I could see.
This is going to sound crazy right now. What about him being the manager of Sasha Banks?
That would be cool. I would like that.
Because she got that whole, like, I'm the boss or whatever. You can't talk to me. You got to talk to my manager or whatever. Have him be the Mike Peace and her just looking pretty and all that and going for time.
Here's another one to give you chills.
Okay, come on with it.
Well, right now they've got Carmella on SmackDown, right?
Yep.
Carmella and Enzo Carmella used to be with Enzo.
Oh, yes!
Right? Here's
Oh,
what they could do.
Right.
Here's a way to get the Hog out and get Enzo in. Have Enzo come in, jump Ellsworth, take Ellsworth out, become Carmella's new manager. Right there. You've got you've got Carmella getting elevated as a heel, which she doesn't need a whole lot of help doing, but she's slowly getting there.
Beautiful.
But she does need a little bit of help with her mic skills. And Enzo's going to help her with that. And Enzo could also, I could see him interfering in matches and make it more believable than what Ellsworth does. And then you could get rid of this whole dog persona type thing, dog slave thing. It's just kind of creepy.
Yeah, it is. I love that. Keep going.
Or another one, thinking about him being in the women's division, get him with Alexa Bliss. They want to try to make Alexa Bliss like the Harley Quinn of WWE. I'm not really digging it, but if they want to continue with that, have Enzo dress up kind of as a Joker persona and have him come out with Alexa Bliss.
Whoa.
Because the Joker's crazy. The Joker, he talks a lot. And I'm a huge Joker fan. I'm not a Batman fan. I'm not a Joker fan. And here's the thing. I like him because of all of his one-liners and the fact that he's insane and he's just funny about it.
You got my attention. You got my attention right now.
Have Enzo dye his hair. He could dye his hair green, put green highlights in it, whatever. He's already got the wacky hair job.
Yeah. No, you got
He's got tattoos already. And the last Joker we've seen has tattoos.
It was just his version of the Joker.
Yeah, he don't really have to dye. He don't really have to try to powder his skin or anything to make it look. He doesn't have to try to make it white like Shane's. Yeah. He don't need to do that. All he needs is he already kind of wears. I don't really know what to call his tights. They're kind of weird,
overalls,
like this. Yeah, like the suspender tights type thing. All you gotta do is just turn that purple, and then when he pulls them down, have it like kind of like a suit or something like that, or have it dressed up like a suit, and then when he pulls them down, just the purple pants.
I love it. I'm captivated. I'm quite captivated.
And here's something else you could do. You know how he's got the little stupid emoji, the stupid poop emoji on the back. Instead of that, put bang.
Damn it! You know what? That's brilliant.
Vince should listen to this podcast. I'm doing the booking for him.
That you ain't lying. Only problem what they get in legal trouble is like okay, you guys are pushing too close to the Joker and Harley Quinn. What they getting
well, they already called. Obviously, they can't get in too much legal trouble, or they have already confirmed it because when she first came out on SmackDown, I don't know if this was supposed to happen or not, but I heard Mauro Ranallo when he was talking. He said the Harley Quinn of WWE.
The Harley Quinn.
And he said that more than once. So obviously he didn't get in trouble for it when he said it the first time because it seemed like every week she came out, the Harley Quinn of WWE.
She does everything like it and do a little belt behind here like the bat. If they can do that.
And they don't have to call him the Joker.
It's just like we know. We just know.
Just like you know with her. They don't call her Harley Quinn anymore. They call her Alexa Bliss.
Brilliant. I'm telling you, I'm that.
You could just shorten his name to Amore. I mean, is he still?
Please, I can't wait till this go up. I wish this get 1 million views. Because honestly, I'm
Vince, like, listen to Booking 101 right here. Right, straight from Galesburg, Illinois.
Galesburg? What is a Galesburg?
That's your Vince impression?
That's a bad one at that.
But seriously, I mean, if you think about that, it's a no-brainer.
I love that. I wouldn't even tie it together. Wow.
And you can still do mixed tag matches between the two.
But if they did it, I don't want them to make it like too jokey or comic-y or like laughable or whatever, like and make him a joker. No, actually have them going out there like causing damage to the divisions, like bringing out bats or whatever, like hitting them over, like what is happening right now? What is going on with Amore? And then you got
give her an outrageously big hammer.
Oh my lord. Oh man.
I mean, they're already calling her Harley Quinn. You might as well give her the damn hammer.
Oh man.
And all you got to do with him is either give him a bat, give him a chair. You don't have to give him anything special. And going back to the gun thing, have him pull out a toy gun, and when he pulls the trigger, it says bang.
That'd be dope. They would never put it on TV.
He doesn't have to point it at anybody. Just like make it look, just point it up in the air.
Vince will never put a gun on TV again. After Brian
I know, but I'm just saying.
That would be beautiful.
Even a water gun,
That would be beautiful.
Have him wear like a little flower that squirts water to blind and when she.
But then I don't want it to get too jokey though.
But here's the thing.
I want it to be like.
Here's what I'm thinking. Have him during her matches when he's out there managing. She throws the opponent over by the ropes over in her corner. And he just kind of goes up to her and squirts whatever in the opponent's face.
I like that, but then it reminds me of Doink the Clown. And I'm like, you remember how jokey Doink was?
Yeah.
Like, I want him to be like a villain for real.
Okay.
You remember how Heath Ledger? It wasn't.
How about it's just like he pulls something out and just throws it in her face?
I love it. I love it because old school. Oh, that's right.
All right, so that's the whole booking for Alexa and Enzo.
I like that.
And here's what I'm kind of questioning.
Okay.
Are they going to do anything with Cass when he comes back?
Oh, of course.
How long is he going to be out? Have they said anything about that? How serious is it?
What was the injury again?
I can't remember if it was leg or shoulder. That's what I'm drawing a blank to because they said something about it and he quit the match, but they never really said anything since then. They never said if he has to actually have surgery.
I'm sure he did.
They never said how long he's going to be out. That's why I'm questioning. It's almost like, yeah, this happened, but we're not going to talk about
it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he'll be like a Rumble surprise.
Maybe. Yeah.
That'd be dope.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be dope.
I would like to see him come back as a face, though. He doesn't seem to do. He does an okay heel.
The way he was getting on Enzo, I liked it.
I like the way he had. I can't say he don't have mic skills because he's got mic skills. He's proved that. It's just when it comes to being a heel, he's not. He's not quite there, as far as the mic.
But to be a good guy.
And see, that's the problem I'm having with Enzo right now is when it comes to the mic, Enzo's still trying to sort of kind of be a face because he's still doing the spelling off the soft and still doing the realest champ in the room, all that. Which, I mean, the realest champ in the room, this cocky, you can do that either way. But the spelling it out and everything else, trying to get the crowd involvement, it's not quite the heel.
No.
You want them to boo you and boo you religiously.
Yep. Matter of fact, show them how it's done. Show them how it's done, C-Jack. Cut your best heel promo right now.
Cut my best heel promo. You're really putting me on the spot,
I got to. Show me how it's done. Show me how it's done, CJ.
You were just putting me on the spot. I was not prepared for this, guys.
All right, I'm going to pretend to be the interviewer. And we are in Galesburg, Illinois. I want you to...
So you're Renee.
I'm going to be the interviewer. I'm going to be... I forgot... I'm not Tom Phillips.
You're not the ham.
Oh God, man. All right.
Okay, Corey Graves.
Man, he is good.
I'll give him that.
I like Corey Graves. He is like old school. Like,
see, the only thing I can't figure out about Corey Graves is he supposed to be a heel or is he supposed to be a face? Because there's certain people. With that, it makes me question that. Like Elias Sampson, he's a heel, but he hates Elias.
Yeah.
But the Miz he likes. So it's kind of wishy-washy. If you're supposed to be the heel
you cheer for
commentator,
all the bad guys.
you cheer for them all. I remember Cole's heel run. He loved the Miz. He thought the Miz was the best thing since sliced
Did you
bread.
say that he cheers or he boos Elias?
He boos Elias, especially all the singing and everything. Like,
But Elias isn't a heel. Is he a heel?
Elias is a heel.
Since when?
He's been a heel for a while because he comes out. The singing gimmick's kind of a face thing, but when he comes out and he sings, he talks about how dirty the place is because he says he talks about he's gonna leave LA.
I know why he cheers him. He cheers everybody from NXT.
But he doesn't cheer Elias. He always say every time Elias is out there, he talks about like, get this guy off the stage.
Maybe,
and every time somebody comes out and interrupts him, he's like, "Oh, thank God! I didn't want to listen to another minute of that."
Maybe I don't know. Oh, very interesting. Huh.
But I mean, at times he has said he's got good in-ring ability. He just he doesn't want him to sing.
Yeah.
So it's kind of wishy-washy there. Like that's the only thing I have is
Same thing with him.
I'm not saying it's Corey Graves' fault because we know it's not.
Right.
We know it's Vince, but
Of course. But yeah, it's interesting. I gotta go back because I'm like, every time Elias come on or whatever, I watch him. I don't really follow him.
yeah, he's not quite the most important guy right now.
No.
He's just kind of he's not really a jobber because he's winning the matches.
Crap, I gotta go clap
but-
real quick. I'll be right back.
So like I was saying, Elias isn't really a jobber. He's just not really a main card guy yet. He's still they're working on building him up is what they're doing.
Yeah. I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan.
I think he's got a long way to go to really get into his character and into his persona.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, well, wait a minute. Forgive me. I want the promo.
the
heel
promo.
See, Jack, you're here in Galesburg, Illinois. Is there anything that you can tell us, the fans and everything, any message that you would like to give out to your crowd here in Galesburg?
The crowd here in Galesburg is a bunch of lazy, no good, sweatbag, greasy cheeseburger eating.
See, Jack, you don't mean that. These are your fans.
I don't need these fans in Galesburg. I'm my own man. I scratched, clawed, and got to where I was on my own.
Boo! Boo!
I think you're overriding me on this mic.
You can do it. You can do it. I want because you got it. You can do it, man. You got it. Now you got to come attack the crowd. Boo! Boo!
I don't need you to like me.
Boo!
You're a whore. I don't need your money. You guys are here to see me. You guys.
Screw you, C-Jack. Screw you.
Screw me. You paid your hard-earned money to see me. I'm the star of this show. You don't care about any of those guys out there except for me.
Come on with it.
I'm your champion. I hold the title. This is the award-winning podcast. You listen to this podcast all the.
Reigns will kill you, C-Jack.
Roman Reigns is nothing but a little baby. And all he does is he gets in here. He can talk big, and all he does is run his mouth. He couldn't wrestle in my boots for one day.
Brock would destroy you. He'll destroy you.
You know what Brock Lesnar does when things get tough? Brock Lesnar runs. What did he do back at WrestleMania 19? He left because Goldberg beat him.
Oh, see,
what did he do when
you don't mean that?
What did he do when he left the UFC? He came back to the WWE because somebody beat him for the title. When things get tough, Brock Lesnar runs.
C-Jack,
he just tries to hide behind that.
C-Jack, are you calling Brock Lesnar a coward?
Yes, I'm calling Brock Lesnar a little coward.
There you have it, folks. C-Jack has just challenged Brock Lesnar by calling him a coward. Back to you. That was beautiful. that was beautiful. I love it, man. You attacked the crowd.
The best thing about being I like being a heel. The best thing about being a heel is the freedom.
Yep.
And not only that, but the best heel says truth in what he does. And what did I say about Brock Lesnar? I said the truth about both things.
I watched you turn it on when you were talking about you turned it on. I'm like, oh, okay.
When Brock Lesnar left, when did Brock Lesnar leave the WWE?
Oh man, the first time?
The first time.
What was that 04?
04.
Mm-hmm.
And who was he set to face before he left?
Was it Goldberg?
Goldberg. Why
Mania? Mm-hmm.
he left when somebody bigger and better was there, and he had already been said to leave before Goldberg left. Goldberg left because him and Vince didn't see eye to eye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why Goldberg left.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, Goldberg has returned because
Mm-hmm.
not for very long.
Money.
And what he do when he first came back? He destroyed Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
And where'd Brock Lesnar go? He went to UFC.
Yep.
He dominated UFC. I will give him that. He dominated UFC until somebody bigger and badder stepped into the octagon with him. When he lost a championship, what did he do? He tucked his tail between his legs. And he went back to WWE and gave Paul Heyman his job back.
Wow. Though.
Think about it.
I'm thinking about you. It did. I mean, I can't deny that. But
last time he was in UFC, what did he do before he had his match against Mark Hunt? Mark Hunt.
How do you mean what he did? What he do? As far as who do you fight? Or
no, he fought Mark Hunt.
Are you talking about how he juiced up? Is that what you mean?
He didn't think he could beat him.
Oh, you're shooting right now. Okay.
I'm just saying the facts that happen.
Oh man. Wow.
I'm not knocking Brock Lesnar at all. Brock Lesnar is a top tier athlete, and I have the utmost respect for Brock Lesnar.
C-Jack is going hard, folks. Keep going.
But when the going gets tough, Brock Lesnar has a history of leaving.
But C-Jack?
And since then, Brock Lesnar has been banned from competing in any type of sport in the city of Las Vegas. And I'm not sure if it's statewide or not, but I know it's at least the city of Las Vegas because of the fact he juiced up.
This is true. But here we go. What happened to Punk? I wish you guys could saw C-Jack's face.
I knew you were gonna ask that.
I had to because I'm like, well, we all love Punk, but I'm like, if you could call him when the going gets tough,
you did that because I am probably one of the biggest supporters.
If not the
biggest,
yes, that's what I'm like. Okay, if he had feel that way about Brock, how do you feel about Punk? I know you love Punk.
I do. I love Punk, and I honestly think Punk. If Punk was still wrestling, he is one of the best. If I would arguably say the best wrestler today. He's not
better than AJ Styles. He's not better. C-Jack, C-Jack, don't you dare tell me that Punk. I love Punk.
I can't say he's better than AJ Styles, but I can say he's very, very close to AJ Styles. AJ Styles is a little bit ahead of him.
Okay.
But AJ Styles might have been doing this longer.
Yes.
I'm not quite sure 100% whether he actually. I'm not sure who's older, because age like that. Age and stuff like that is irrelevant to me when we talk about these guys, because I don't look at everything as an age prospect. I look at it as, are they still able to go? Cena's 41, yes. But is he still able to go? Yes. Ric Flair, did he hang on a little too long? Maybe.
I still watch Ric Flair.
But he was still able. He was still able to go when he retired. He was still able to go. Shawn Michaels, he was still able to go. If he was still there, he might still be able to go.
Guys, you know what?
I don't look at their age. I look at whether or not they're hanging on for too long.
Okay. All right. Now you just.
I wouldn't want to see Vince McMahon step in the ring again.
No, never.
I'm not sure I'm really digging the whole Shane McMahon stepping into the ring thing.
C-Jack, I'm going to have to stop you because I just now realize what I want to happen. And guys, if you are listening to this, please make this happen. I want people to start creating actual Photoshop images of AJ Styles and CM Punk WrestleMania. Please push it out. Make this please. No.
We need this to happen.
Please, if we can have AJ Styles versus CM Punk, that will change. That will. I can't. WWE it'll be in a
That
whole
could be
new
the
era.
only match of the card.
Yes, I will buy the network 10 times. Then again another 10 times if we can have that match. Please, please, please.
Here's the problem. Would Punk do it?
That's why I'm like, if we can get
Punk has been offered $1 million
True.
to wrestle.
True.
I think it was 5-Star Wrestling.
But he'll be $1 million to fight like a random guy. You talking about AJ Styles? Him and AJ? Are you kidding me?
I understand that, but
No.
does Punk care? That's the only thing I wonder is, considering it's the fact that he's got to step into the WWE to do it, would he do it? Now, say AJ Styles was went to Ring of Honor and they did the match.
He would do.
Punk would probably go to
He
Ring
would,
of
yeah.
Honor because he likes Ring of Honor.
True.
He likes the guys there. He would go just to hang out with Colt Cabana.
No lie. But
The fact that Vince, the fact that Vince would be profiting from that, might be enough to stop Punk and say, no, I ain't letting Vince make a penny off of me. That's how pissed off Punk is right now.
I know it.
And right now, Punk is in a lawsuit with WWE.
I know, yeah. That one doctor as well, right?
I mean, he's not suing him for the money. He doesn't need the money.
I remember
He doesn't care.
In his DVD, he was talking about how he found a check for like $300,000 under his couch. The guy clearly has enough money and don't care about it. It's about the art. He
doesn't seem to need a whole lot either.
No,
He's not a very expensive living guy. He lived in an apartment.
Yeah.
It
was a nice one.
It was a nice one. I'm not going to say he was living in
no shanty at
South
all.
Chicago.
No.
He was living in a decent apartment.
It was nice.
And he obviously had enough money that when he started doing UFC, he was driving to Wisconsin every day.
Yeah.
He got tired of the
like
drive.
$2 million contract or something like that?
I'm not sure exactly how much it was, but I know he had enough money that he just went and bought I don't know if it was an apartment or if it was a house.
Yep.
He just went and bought that. That way he didn't have to make the drive all the time.
Yep, I remember that. Him
And that
AJ
way
moved there.
AJ could be there with him. And that's the other thing. AJ Lee was I don't want to say forced, but in a way she was kind of forced to quit because of the backlash she got from being married to Punk.
I don't think she
in the
loved
WWE.
it anymore. I don't think she loved it because I looked at her and I'm like, I watched her. I'm like, she don't love it anymore.
But see, here's the thing: she misses it, and she's openly admit that she sometimes misses it, and she would like to watch the product certain times. But Punk won't allow. If Punk's home, Punk don't want to see anything to do with WWE on his TV in his house at all, which. Reasonably so. So they fire. Why would you want to have any association or even look at the company that fired you on your wedding day? Who would want to even look at anything
No kidding.
to remind them of somebody of a company that said, oh well, we're gonna let you go, and by the way, you're fired, even though it's your wedding day.
Yep.
When you answer the phone from somebody like that, especially, I think it was Hunter that called him.
Yeah.
Especially when it's your boss, they know it's your wedding day and everything. You're expecting them to tell you congratulations, something like that.
That really pisses me off for the fact that it mattered. He was willing to negotiate. He was like, okay, just give me a little time or whatever. Like, I'm about to get married now. Okay. Like, they're like, screw it. You're fired. That type of thing. That's what it seems to sound like.
He was the one that was. You remember 12 rounds 2?
Yeah.
With Randy Orton?
Yeah.
Randy Orton was supposed to do that.
That's right.
That was supposed to be CM Punk. CM Punk should have been in 12 rounds 2. Not knocking Randy Orton at all. But
WWE dropped the ball big time. Big time.
And see, I don't know if it's been proven or not, and I don't know whether it was supposed to happen or not. But have you heard of the movie The Day that WWE came out with?
Mm-mm.
It's like a survival type movie thing. The guy on the cover at that first glance, he kind of looks like Punk. So I'm kind of curious on whether or not Punk was actually supposed to be in that movie or not. And they just kind of replaced it with somebody with somewhat of a lookalike. I know the guy that played it. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head. He's actually a pretty well respected actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't knocking the guy at all, but it's
Mhm.
just kind of weird. There were some of the first glance resemblances between the two.
That's interesting.
And the way he had his hair slicked back. 'Cause
Mhm.
at the time, Punk was just growing his hair,
Mhm.
just starting to grow his hair back out from cutting it and was
Mhm.
slicking it back and everything.
Look like an '80s bad guy.
Yeah, look like a greaser.
Yeah,
you know?
yep.
Uh,
Man.
but yeah, and it's just kind of crazy how things have happened. They make you kind of wonder, and the fact that Punk originally created the Shield is something to be said too.
You know,
I'm not. He
all
didn't create the Shield. I mean,
Because
he
you
didn't
hear
say
you
he
hear
didn't want
different
those guys.
stories, and I hear from Reigns and everything. He didn't create the Shield. You hear from Punk, he did.
You hear from Punk that he wanted a group of guys to come around with him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't call it the Shield.
Yep.
He called it something else, and I think he originally wanted Ambrose
He
and
did.
Rollins.
And it was, what was the third guy? I forgot what the third guy was.
But the third guy wasn't Reigns. He
No.
wanted somebody else.
Nah. That's what the heck? I'm believing that?
But Vince said, well, we want Roman.
Yep. That's what Punk said. Roman said different though, so I don't know. I don't know.
But regardless, they did come in with Punk.
I know. That's what makes me believe it was Punk's idea. But
I'm curious on whether or not Vince has told everybody to say it wasn't Punk because of the fact Punk's not there. Vince has been known to do stuff like that before.
I don't.
Vince has been known to try to discredit people from getting the credit they're
But
due.
like on like little interviews or whatever, like done in public, like or not the public, but he doesn't control that because Vince would never listen to that. Vince doesn't even know what a burrito is. So like, I don't think he'll even listen to that stuff. I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, he doesn't have to. He's got other guys to do it for him.
That's true.
And I mean, with a doofus son-in-law and
Oh,
idiotic,
man.
the stealing Punk's line right there.
Man.
Idiotic daughter.
Oh my lord, he's not wrong there with it. Well, I hope Shane and Hunter end up having a match. I hope that happens.
See, I do, but I don't. Because here's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Shane getting in the ring. He's not the best in-ring competitor.
He's entertaining.
He's entertaining.
We know he's not a worker.
If you have
He's
Shane and Triple H in a match, it needs to be a gimmick match.
It will.
Anything
Shane
Shane's
know.
in, he has to have
It's
a gimmick
every
match.
time. That's why he's with
Although-
Owens right now in the still.
Although,
Mhm.
I will give him credit,
Yep.
AJ Styles, Shane McMahon was a very, very good match.
Yeah.
I will give him
That
credit.
how many gimmicks
Nobody-
did they have in that match?
None.
I think that they had one trash can.
But see, it wasn't a gimmick match. It was a straight
Exactly.
wrestling match.
And that he
it
was
wasn't supposed to
going.
be a gimmick match.
And he was gone.
I think they may have involved the steps a little bit.
I think because Jericho or whatever, because we know how great Jericho is working. He has high expectations or whatever. He is not that bad of a worker. He's not great, but he's not that bad, in my opinion.
And see,
My-
Jericho's never really disclosed exactly when that was. He said it was, I think he said it was a Monday Night Raw, but he didn't say what year.
Oh no! He was talking about that Survivor Series.
Oh,
Was it Survivor Series?
was it Survivor Series? For some reason, I was thinking it was Raw.
Yeah.
But I know there. Yeah, it was Survivor Series. They
Uh-huh.
were going to lock up.
Mm-hmm.
And
He hit him.
he hit
like,
him.
What? He's like, what? He's like, lock up. Hit him again. Whatever.
But that was Shane's last run. It wasn't this recent run, was it?
It was this one. No, last year. Mm-hmm. But I mean, hey, it is.
But I mean-
I find him entertaining. I wanna
Here's
see
the
him and
thing.
Hunter go.
You got to look at it as Shane was gone from the business for a long
a
time.
long time. A long
He
time.
came back,
Yep.
and he's only had 3-4 matches since he's been back.
Yep.
Because he's got He's
Yep.
got a 2-match-a-year deal.
Does it?
That's his contract. When he signed, for the
I
money
did not know that.
for the money Vince is paying him, he wanted Shane to have 2 matches a year.
Get out of here.
Well, his first match this year
Mm-hmm.
was
I think it's gonna be. Was it? Are they counting WrestleMania?
No, I don't think so. What was what was the match he just had not that long ago?
He didn't have a match.
Then yeah, it is the WrestleMania style.
Then this will be number 2.
Yeah, and then this will be 2.
In 2018, it'll be WrestleMania again. It'll start the whole new contract, maybe.
Possibly. But I remember that when the first year he came back, it was Undertaker and the Survivor Series match.
Yep.
This year it's
AJ
WrestleMania
Uh-huh.
and now Kevin Owens.
Wow.
See,
I didn't even know
here's
that.
the thing: why are they letting They're doing him at WrestleMania, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing: why just give the second one away? They're giving this one away at Hell in a Cell.
What
Why
do you
not
think it should be at? Survivor Series?
Survivor Series? Maybe throw him in the Royal Rumble.
Ooh. Oh. You know what?
You know who I want to see be in this year's Royal Rumble, even though I know it won't happen.
Who?
Daniel Bryan. He's talking about the fact that I know they won't clear him. But
Ain't happening.
I would like to see it.
Oh, of course.
Another one I would like to see show up for a surprise, but I'm not sure really why he retired.
Mm-hmm.
They never said is Christian. I would like to see Christian make a surprise appearance at the Royal Rumble.
Not for me. I've never been a real big Christian guy wrestling. I like him. He's a funny guy. I just don't like his in-ring work. Just not for me.
I think he'd be okay. Just kind
Like
of that one surprise entrant type thing.
Okay.
He'd be a good surprise entrant, I think, because
Okay.
he just kind of disappeared. Nobody really knows why he left. Nobody really knows.
Did they make him retire?
I know they made Edge retire.
Right, but I heard they made Christian
I
retire too because
I don't
he had
know
a lot
about.
of concussions.
See, I don't know. I didn't know about Christian
Yeah.
because I'd never heard. They never publicly came out and said it.
That's what I heard. I think I heard that from JR or something.
You know who the best surprise entrant to the Royal Rumble would be? It's
Who?
CM
Oh,
Punk,
goodness.
but
Yeah, that's the given.
that or
You
know what else would be cool? What a one night contract, Cody Rhodes.
That would be kind of cool. Is he gonna be at Starrcade?
See, I don't know. They've talked about it, but they never confirmed it. I know
They don't. If they could get Cody Rhodes back, they don't need no one night contract. They need to give him a full blown contract.
I know
and have
Mr.
him-
P.S. Hayes has said he wanted him there, but
They need to and give him
I
like
think
a real man event.
and even the
run.
Hardy Boys said, "Yeah, bring your Young Bucks too."
Yeah, well, like the Bucks of Youth or something like
Yeah, that would be excellent.
that.
But see, they can't do.
I can't wait for that.
I don't know when Starrcade's technically supposed to be, but it'd have to be pretty far out in the future because Hardy's laid up.
That's right.
Jeff's laid up right now. Matt's kind of doing his own thing.
And he
Right now, he's helping Jason Jordan with his push.
Yep. See, and this is why I think we're gonna get him woken. I think like he's gonna lose or get hit or whatever, and he's gonna just snap, and he's gonna get.
Well, see, he's
woken.
already posted on Twitter he has been awoken. But see, here's the thing. TNA's still claiming rights to the Broken gimmick.
Yeah, it needs to.
But WWE's talked about purchasing. Well, they haven't really publicly said purchasing TNA, but they've said something about when they were talking about doing the premium network. How would you like to see TNA matches on there?
Yep. But I heard the guy that owned it now, or the company, they're not selling the events. So. Claim. But no, I don't know.
Well, money talks, as we know, and Vince has money to make anybody sell.
This is true. You offer the right amount of money. This is true.
Vince could buy anything he really wanted to.
Yeah.
Although I kind of wonder how much of a billionaire he is these days with the networks, going up and down.
I think he's pretty much a billionaire. Well, don't get.
I know at one point in time he wasn't. And Punk called him out on it. He was a millionaire that should have been a billionaire, but he surrounds himself with with a bunch of yes men.
When Punk say that, it's not like he's talking like he's got 25 million. He's talking like Vince only has 800 million instead of a cool billion, because he'll fluctuate depending on
he's got like
stocks are doing.
He's got like 999 million.
Oh, you know what? We gonna have to chip in to buy Vince lunch, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm sure he's fine. I mean,
Well-
I heard stories that he don't even pump his own gas. He like got guys, or whatever, that drives his car, get gas or whatever, and just brings it back.
Does he even Does he even ride in a car anymore?
Yeah, he drives
other
that
than from the
Bentley.
hotel.
Yeah, he drives that Bentley thing. He gets in his jet and go to the next place.
I say he takes his jet everywhere.
What a tough life. That's good.
I'm sure the other person that's got his own personal jet, Cena. I'm sure Vince paid for that. I don't know if Cena's got his own personal jet or not.
I don't know. That's very expensive. Very. If he's able to pull that one, goodness gracious, that's very expensive.
Well, see, here's the reason why I say he would almost have to. Look at all the places Cena goes within a day.
True.
Look at all the places he goes.
But you know
all the time.
You know how expensive that is. That's very expensive. I mean,
Well, Vince didn't necessarily have to buy him a new jet.
nah,
He
but-
gave him his old jet and then bought himself a new one.
But, like, I'm telling you, man, I heard stories. I remember Kobe Bryant was talking about he had a helicopter that he would use to drive to fly to the games. They were like, "How much does the helicopter cost?" He was like, "The cost of a Ferrari." But he got rid of it. They're like, "Why?" He was like, "Dude, it is like hemorrhaging money." He was like, "Just the fuel alone." He was like, "It's ridiculous to keep it up." And Kobe Bryant has an astronomical amount of money.
That's why Bill Burr says he don't have his own helicopters because it's so expensive.
It
That and the
really-
fact that he lives in L.A. and there's nowhere to place it.
See, yeah, there you go.
I tell him, yeah, I always said every time I hear him say that, I'm like, come to Galesburg, Monmouth, Illinois. We got we got all kinds of cornfields you can park that son of a bitch in.
You ain't kidding, man. You ain't kidding. But nah, if he did, I mean, but I can't see him. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
It's hard telling. What do you think about Cena? Do you think he's gonna be wrestling again anytime soon, or do you think he's gonna be away for a
He's
while?
gonna be away for a while.
See, I've heard here and there good old wrestle talk.
Yep. I heard the plans changed. He's not even gonna be at Survivor Series.
I've heard plans have changed and he's already signing Cena Light.
He's what?
Yeah, Vince is already shining that Batman Cena signal
Already?
already. That's what I've heard.
That's a shame.
See, here's the thing.
Because you got no faith in anybody else. The guy hasn't even left yet. Really.
Here's the thing. I'm not a huge Cena fan.
Are you a fan of his in general?
I'm a general fan. I'm a general Cena fan. I'll give him credit where credit's due.
Okay.
As far as a great worker, he's not a great worker.
No.
He's a
He's a good worker.
He's a good worker.
People need to understand he is a good worker. He's not no bum. No.
he's not a horrible worker. He's a good worker. Great seller. He sells amazingly.
No. You
don't think so?
No. He is the worst. I hate watching him get punched. I hate everything. I'll tell you who's underrated, who is very good at selling. Brock freaking Lesnar. The way this guy puts people over when he gets thrown and all, he made Undertaker look like $1 million. Braun Strowman, he'll throw him a little bit. Brock will freaking fly over the ropes like
I'll
he's
give
a
him
gymnast.
that.
I'm telling you. And then the way he'll get hit, he'll be like, just dying over there. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I'll give him that.
Brock, he's underrated. I love the way. But John, I wish I can give it to him, but no, because he'll get hit and he'll be like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
man.
see where you're coming from, but as longevity goes along, he's good. He's good at selling the longevity of a match and selling like the toll of longevity, the longevity, the depletion of stamina.
I have to disagree. And that's why I have to. I can't. It never looked like he's really out of it. Not to me. Never looked like he's really out of it. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me.
I can never really get over his angry face. His angry face always looks like he's crapping his pants, but
That's me slow clapping. He's absolutely right. Man.
I mean, just did you catch No Mercy? The double AA?
That was dope.
That was good.
That was dope.
Cena, he's a powerhouse, and he's a great job of showing his power.
Yeah, and he didn't even need to do it. He just rode up. I'm like, oh, picked him up, no problem.
And
Reigns is not no little guy.
here's the thing. What I'm talking about as far as selling, when Reigns kicked out, the selling.
I know
Cena
what you
did
mean.
there-
Like as far as like, I can't believe that. Okay.
Yeah.
Reactions to it. Yeah.
his reactions to what happened.
He's a good actor. Yeah.
He's great.
He's a good actor. No, yeah, no question. As far as that, yeah, I thought you were talking like, okay, him like selling a punch or whatever. It's like, oh, but if you're talking about that, like, what do I do now? I can't believe he just kicked out that type of thing.
Yeah,
He's great. He's great.
he and even starting to argue with the ref a little bit. I mean that's
Yeah.
that's all normally a heel move, but the way he does it in a face-like way.
Like, I can't believe it. Like, what? How?
And the one thing that everybody asks is, when are we going to see a John Cena heel run?
Never gonna happen.
I don't want to see a John Cena heel run because here's the thing.
You don't?
Hear me out.
Okay,
on, hear me out on this.
I'm gonna go mute. Go for it.
When he comes out, you got half of the crowd booing him, half of the crowd cheering him. So those guys that boo him want him to be a bad guy, right?
Yep.
Well, he's already getting booed, so isn't he already the bad guy?
Oh, okay, Paul Levesque. I see what you did there, don't you? No. It's not that he's already a bad guy because he's getting booed. No, we want him to call us fat slobs. We want to be insulted. We want a typical real life heel, not booing because we hate the guy. You Triple H me. That's what you did, Triple H me.
But see, here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
going.
Here's the problem with Cena. If Cena goes heel,
Uh-huh.
they would have to do it very, very carefully to where if it didn't work out, he could come back as a face. Because if he goes heel,
It will. Well, look. Think about it. All they have to do is literally make him Hollywood Hogan.
I was gonna say, because if he goes heel, and say he were to tap out, his career's over.
No, it's not. Not at all.
Well, there's no more going face.
Yeah. Go back and look at Hollywood Hogan. Hulk Hogan back in the 80s and 90s never tapped out. Never. He went to WCW, became Hollywood Hogan. What happened? He's doing the most heelish stuff. He's tapping, being a little coward. Got to go and sneak and get weapons and all. He became a heel for real. And what happened when he flipped back? Oh, you got the Hulkster red and yellow. He's hulking up. He can.
But see, here's the thing. This is the reason why I say if he taps out, his career's over. What's John Cena's motto?
Never give up.
Never give up, never quit, and I can't remember the other one.
I'll tell you. Yeah, no.
There's three there.
The hustle, loyalty, respect. Yeah. No, I'm telling you.
Never give up, never quit.
That's why it will be the best, because if he actually quits, it's
But
like,
if he goes, but the thing I'm saying is, if he goes back on that, he can't go back to.
of course he could. Of course, nobody's gonna like, oh well, John, you quit that time, so I quit life or what? No, they like, we want him back. And then they'll flip them back or whatever, and they're like, yeah. All the merchandise will be flying off the shelves.
Merchandise is already flying off the shelves.
He'll
though.
be flying more. Could you imagine him going back to that gimmick of what was it, little rapper gimmick, or just going back and being a heel, like, look, guys,
But see,
you know
when
what? I'm banging
he
Nikki
doesn't
Bella.
have to tap out though to be a heel,
I want him to.
because here's
I
the thing.
want him to.
Think about when he was doing the rapper persona. If they would have let him bring that back, which it would have to be very carefully, especially if they're
I don't
doing
want the rapper gimmick back. I want cocky, arrogant John Cena. Guys, I look
See,
better than you. I'm in shape.
I don't know if he could do that.
I
I don't know if he could do that as a family-friendly version, though.
I don't want family friendly.
I don't either, but that's what WWE wants, and that's the reason why I don't think we'll have it.
But I'm talking about what if. I'm talking if he went heel, I want him to be a douchebag.
Without a
I
question.
want him to be a douchebag.
I
I
want
want him tapping out.
I want him to be John Cena.
Yeah, I want him to be real life. John, put you
I
on
want the
camera
guy.
and be that.
I want the guy that after a show he goes and hits a couple kids' hands, and then the kids that are the kid's birthday that's across the whole aisle from him down the entryway. He wants his autograph so bad and is there because it's his birthday.
Yep.
I want the John that says "fuck him."
Yep. Did you finally listen to that? Did you hear it from Ryback? I'm telling you, man, that's who he did. I want that guy. I want him to tell people.
And you
how
know
it
what?
really is.
Like I was telling you, I thought about that after we talked about that and everything. And I was remembering back when I was in high school, I used to watch these kids. Well, their mom took her son to a wrestling event. This was when CM Punk had just came back after he left for the championship.
Yep.
And they were both champions at the time.
Yep.
So the main event, John Cena and CM Punk.
Yep.
I think it was like a tag team match or something. And at the end of the match, they both kind of held up championship, see who could get the bigger pop.
Yep.
And after it was over with, CM Punk, kind of rolled out of the ring, as he does, prove it, and he just left John in the ring, saying, basically acting like he didn't have time for John. But Punk went around to everybody, shook people's hands.
Yep.
He was shaking people's hands coming up the aisle, and that kid got his autograph. John Cena just went around the inner circle. Just went to the guys that were ringside.
See?
He didn't. I don't think he signed any autographs. I'm not 100% sure on that or not.
That's not
Shook their hands. The kid had his pen ready, had his hand out there, and John Cena just kind of looked at him and then just continued to walk.
Oh, he looked at him too, so he knew he was there with it. Oh.
He walked on and then got to the stage, did that look back like we seen at No Mercy, and then he threw the 5-knuckle shuffle symbol up in the air. Lights went dark. The event was over.
Typical John.
So that was so when you said that, it just kind of registered in my head.
I told
you know what John Cena said to that kid? Fuck him.
Yeah, that's my point. Put that on camera. Put it on camera. Then he'll get heel hate for real.
And see, here's the thing. John Cena, Miz.
That was good. I don't care what
John Cena, Miz is Miz face, and John Cena heel. I don't know how well that would work, but it might be good. Especially now that Miz is having a kid.
I don't want a face Miz. I don't. I want a heel.
That
Miz
or now
versus...
that Cena's getting married, Miz and John, kind of joining forces as as Hollywood actors or whatever, both being heels.
I like that, but I think John can do it on his own.
They can both talk.
They can. That's why I just don't think they will overshadow each other. Like they'll try to outdo each other. That's why I'm like, I would rather have it be like.
And that's where you would get the same kind of tag team as we had for a while as Sheamus and Cesaro. They were both trying to outdo each other. Yep. It made for great TV.
I don't know. I'm kind of over them now.
You're like, well, now, but I mean, there for a while it was good TV.
It was.
I'm not
because
saying
like, everybody was like, what would happen if, like, in my mind, like Sheamus and Cesaro or whatever. But I don't know.
I'm not saying it has to be a longevity thing.
They don't need each other though. I want him to be a heel over there. I want him to be a heel over there. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Both of them together being heels is like, it's just too much douchiness for me. It has to be just one. And I love when Miz was calling him out.
Cena Rollins as Rollins a face. That would be good.
Whoa. Now you're cooking.
I like Rollins better as a face.
I hear that a lot.
I'm not saying he's not a good heel. I like him as a heel.
I think he like.
But see, here's the thing. Here's my problem.
Oh yeah, such a good run being a heel.
Here's my problem with him being a heel. When he's doing the heel persona, they almost trying to make him look like a CM Punk type figure. Coming out, chewing the gum, the way he talks, the way he acts, the way he moves, they kind of try to make him CM Punk-esque.
Think about it though. They almost from like he's from Davenport, Punk is from Chicago area. It's like it's just in them.
Well,
like,
see, here's the thing. I didn't think about the connection until I was seeing Punk's DVD. When Punk's DVD, he talks about Colby Lopez, Seth Rollins, coming into his training grounds and wanting Punk to trade him, but Colby says, "I don't have any money," and Punk's like, "Well, I don't know what to tell you."
Oh, wow. Wow.
But I mean, Punk did kind
That
of
would be a hell of a...
Punk did kind of train Seth Rollins a little bit.
Is that true? He trained Rollins?
A little bit.
Really? That's interesting. Huh.
So that's kind of the thing. There is, you don't want him to act like his trainer.
Why not?
Well, you don't want.
Freaking Daniel Bryan act like he wrestles like Regal,
In a way.
and Regal's an excellent wrestler.
It's, Lord Regal he's amazing.
He was unbelievable.
He doesn't get the credit he deserves.
No, he don't. He really don't. And he can really go in real life.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what people are like.
Absolutely.
They're like Regal. They're like the guy used to fight grown men when he was 15, bare knuckle. Like he's for real.
Yeah,
he's for real.
Absolutely. He's never got the credit he deserves.
Never. Oh man. Dude, I can go all freaking night right now. I gotta go home, man. Man, C-Jack, I love it. This is a great podcast, man. Next time
It is. Well, I can't believe we've gone over an hour on this thing.
Crazy.
So we're gonna wind the wrestling part down real quick, and I just want to talk to you just
I gotta go
about something else real quick. How's your NBA career starting out? Is it taking off at all, or are you working on that, or?
It's going in the trash. Gotta go. No, I'm playing. Yeah, I'm working on it. That's why I gotta go home right now to work out. All right. I don't want to get too tired. I gotta work out after I work.
So you're working out after work every night?
Mm-hmm. Yup, and I'll be going on my diet probably like January.
Well, I'm hoping you make it, and
I appreciate it, man. Guys, before CJ keeps complimenting me, which I will take, I want you guys to leave a comment about how you want CJ to start his pro wrestling career. Guys, I want you to do it. And he wants to be a policeman, but I think he should be a wrestler. I'm throwing it out there.
Here's my problem with being a full-time wrestler.
Uh-huh.
Leaving my family to be on the road 300 days a year. That's my biggest problem. Is
get your foot in the door, do independent, do the dates that you want to, see if you like it.
Just do it as a hobby, then, is what you're saying.
Why not? Because you know me, we'll put money in your pocket, man. You know how I go. I'm gonna teach you all about the drop shipping and the trading and everything like that. That's a whole different podcast.
This man is an entrepreneur, guys.
We gonna put money in your pocket, and then you can do the labor of love, like the podcast, the wrestling. If you want to be a cop still, we gonna get you right, man. You got too much talent. I want you to do everything you can.
Well, I appreciate that, Mac.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Before I go, I want you to cut your best face promo.
My best face promo.
Because that's hard.
That is hard.
Hard.
That's even harder.
Yes, that's
even harder than heel, and you put me on the spot for heel.
All right, give me your best heel.
Give me your best. Give you my best heel. I gave him my best heel with Brock Lesnar.
Okay. All right, here we go.
My best face. Face is hard. Face is really hard to work. I got to give credit to John Cena for going out there and doing it every night.
Yeah, it's really hard. But I know, you know what? I'm gonna give you a little layup here to get you going. We're in Galesburg, Illinois, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with the WWE champion, C-Jack. C-Jack, can you tell us what you think about CM Punk?
CM Punk?
Yeah.
CM Punk is one of the best wrestlers to ever lace his boots, to ever step in that ring. I have the utmost respect for that guy. I'm really hoping that one day he can come back and me and him could do a match at WrestleMania.
C-Jack, what do you see in CM Punk that makes him such a spectacular wrestler?
Well, he's the best on that mic. He's the best on the microphone, and I take a lot of pride in getting in studying his work and trying to not really follow in his footsteps, but try to implement and respect him in everything I do. As far as doing the podcast I do every week, as far as stepping in the ring, as far as talking on the microphone, I think he's probably one of the best workers to be in the ring. I don't think he's quite to where AJ Styles has been, but he's a very close second. AJ Styles is another phenomenal wrestler, no pun intended. Great respect for both of them, and I would put my championship up any time if either one of them guys want to go. Any contender that wants a shot at this championship, I'm willing to give it to him.
Now I got something for you. I want you to go heel, and now I want to cut a promo against Punk. C-Jack, we're here in Galesburg, Illinois. You're the WWE champion. You're going against one of the greatest of all time, Chicago-made Punk, as you like to call him. What do you have to say about that, C-Jack? Can you elaborate your thoughts on the championship match coming up?
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take and go out there.
Okay.
I'm going to face Punk in the ring, beat him like I always will. And then I'm going to go to the bar, have a nice drink. Like grown men do.
Oh, whoa, C-Jack. What are you trying to say right now?
Light me up a cigar.
Oh, whoa. Are you taking a shot at his straight edge living? Is that what you're doing right now?
Straight edge? That sounds like a wussy edge to me.
C-Jack, I'm shocked right now.
Shocked at what? The fact that CM Punk's not a real man? The fact that CM Punk couldn't last a day in the ring with me? The fact that CM Punk wants to walk out of the WWE just because Vince holds him down?
Whoa. Keep it going.
And within the first round, he went to UFC, he got beat.
Whoa. C-Jack, it takes a lot of balls to go out there and fight another man in a sport that you're not familiar with. Would that be something that you will ever do?
All right, let's go. I'm gonna go to boxing, okay?
Yeah.
I'm calling out Mr. Mayweather.
Oh.
Mr. Mayweather, come out of retirement. I'll make you 50-1.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I like it. Very good. Very good. Yeah, when you turn it on, when you start shooting, you go to a different level. You go to a different. What did you say about Punk? I was like, oh, he's going there. Okay, all right, okay.
That's the thing is once you get started, you can turn it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I give props to guys like Cena, guys like Miz, who can take it from nothing.
And you can't just go. You just gotta be like, wow, you know what?
It's just you gotta get that thought in your head.
Don't think. React.
But I gotta have something to react to.
You're in Galesburg, Illinois. What is in Galesburg, Illinois?
Nothing.
There's nothing in Galesburg, Illinois. You know what? No, there is something. I'm the only thing in Galesburg, Illinois. This shithole of a place. Let me tell you, the women are fat, the men are fatter, but you know what's even fatter than that? My wallet. Because that's how much they paid me to come here and bless you guys with my in-ring ability.
That you don't even deserve.
You don't deserve it because you fat, lazy, out of shape people, you came to watch greatness. Let me tell you something. If you thought Bobby Roode was glorious, good God, you better take a look at me. Because you're looking at a man who won't lose, who won't give up. And no. I'm talking about in the bedroom, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking about, because if there is a good-looking girl out in Galesburg, Illinois, which there isn't, she's coming home with me. And only for one night because, I'm going to the next city. I'm going to get the next girl, and we're going to do from there, but... see, now you cut something like that and just go.
It's funny you said Bobby Roode because the whole time you're doing that, I'm thinking of Rick Rude.
Oh, exactly. You sweat hard.
Yeah, I did that. That's just constantly playing in my mind. You bunch of lazy, out of shape, out of work, sweat halls. This is what a real man looks like.
Yeah, man. See, you got it in you. You can do it. Don't try to overthink it, because when you start shooting, I was like, he's in it. He's in his bag right now. Because I'm telling you, just let it fly, and it's like freestyle rapping.
But I got to give props to everybody in WWE right now. That is hard to do family friendly.
Oh, that's why.
And being a heel would be even harder. Being a face is hard normally, but being a face family friendly, I don't see that as being the biggest challenge in the world.
No.
Being a heel family friendly was hard.
Man, I don't.
I couldn't be a family
That's
friendly
why
heel.
Jericho was over, because it's like he tried to be a heel and he was over. He tried to like a good guy, like
Stupid idiot. I mean, come on.
Oh, man. Oh, he was freaking the best.
The list. I mean, come on. That became a face gimmick.
You know what happens when you put me on your podcast? You know what happens when you cut a heel promo?
Woo!
You know what? Do you see that? You know what? You know what happens?
You just made this.
Oh man!
Shout out to Jericho.
Jericho's freaking hilarious.
We love Jericho. I mean,
see, Jack, dude, I could do this all freaking night, man. If I didn't have to work out, man, I'd just be here all freaking night.
I hear you, man.
Dude.
But when you make the NBA,
Oh, man,
when you
thank
become a basketball player professionally,
I appreciate
we're
it.
gonna have you back on the podcast,
Oh, for sure.
and
man.
we're gonna talk about your struggles and tribulations to get there.
Man, yeah, there's been a lot of them, man. But
Especially the
good.
fact that you're gonna be probably one of the oldest guys to break into the NBA when you do.
Yeah, probably. There's one guy who was 35 as a rookie. I remember that. That was kind of weird. He was still good, very good actually. Well, yeah, man. From your mouth to God's ear, if it happens, it don't matter to me. I just want to do it to knock it off the little bucket list or whatever.
Is there a step down from NBA professionally?
Oh yeah. It was called the D League. Now it's called the G League. So that's what I'm gonna try out for. Which is the Chicago Bulls. It's called the Windy City Bulls, actually. And what happens is if anybody get injured on the Bulls, or if you're good enough, they might just like one day you'll be down in the G League,
And then they
next
draft you
game
up.
you'll be right back. You'll be with the Bulls. So if that happens, but I mean, hey, if it does, it does. If it don't, I'm not. It's just trying to live out a dream, man.
We'll see. I don't see why it wouldn't, because you've definitely got the size.
Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate
You
it.
definitely got that down.
Man, you'll be surprised. There was some big boys out there. I remember when I used to play in college. People were like, oh, man, you're big. Man, you see those boys out there, man, I had to look up. It was crazy. It was crazy, but, yeah. Anyway. Yeah.
Who's your inspiration growing up for basketball?
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant.
I was curious if Jordan was one of them.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah, I figured he had to be.
Oh, my Lord, man.
Who doesn't look up to Jordan?
Dude, I studied Michael Jordan night and day. Night and freaking day. I remember I used to, back like in the day, used to take the VHS tapes or whatever, and I used to record all, like, I would have all his little movies to Come Fly With Me, Michael Jordan's Playground. I would watch everything Michael Jordan. I would know everything Michael Jordan did on the court, little nuances and all that stuff that people don't really know. I'm telling you, I was just...
So you would study Michael Jordan like I study CM Punk?
Yes, exactly.
I was saying, I've watched everything Punk. I've
Yep.
watched his.
Yep.
I watched a video not that long ago of CM Punk before he was in WWE. It was made by Big Vision Promotions,
Oh, wow, okay.
and
Yeah.
so that came out, and this was back when he was just kind of wrestling in indies.
Mhm.
He was in Ring of Honor a little bit and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He had long blonde hair.
I remember
then.
that. Yeah,
Died.
yeah. I remember the move. That one time they thought he was gonna. Well, he did actually sign with WWE, but I think he actually stayed a little bit longer. He had like a little championship bout. He was signing in. What was it? Was it Ring of Honor? But I forgot. I can't remember.
But anyway, I want to thank you for being on. I know you got to get out of here, so we'll get you on sometime in the future. I love having you on. It's
this is fun.
we can sit here and do this all the time and always have A+ programming come out.
I appreciate it,
because the way we can bounce off of each other is amazing.
This is fun. Guys, I want C-Jack to go to the WWE. Or independent, whatever you want, and he can take his family on the road because he'll be rich enough to get a bus and everything.
Do the Randy Orton thing, right?
Exactly. Why not? I'm telling you, man, I want you to do it. You can do it, man. You can do it. Just stay focused.
You have a good one, Mac.
Thank you, brother.
Again, I would like to thank my buddy Mac for joining me on the C-Jack podcast. Really, when me and that guy just get together, it's we don't plan everything. And the last time I had him on the podcast, we kind of had like a little we had bullet points to kind of go by. This time we got together and you heard it as it came out. It came to our popped into our heads. It was just natural. I want to say chemistry between me and him. That's just how we are. And every time we get together and we talk, it's like that. We could always talk for hours and hours and hours. And I enjoy talking to the guy. I don't get to talk to him a whole lot. I'm proud to call him one of my good friends, and I really do wish him the best. And I think I'm not really quite sure exactly how old he is, but I know he's gonna do great things, and I'm sure he has done great things in the past. And he's gonna go far, and I truly do believe that he has the potential to do anything he wants to do, and whether it be going to the NBA, running his own company, anything he wants to do. He's a very smart man, and I have the utmost respect for my buddy Mac, and I want to thank you guys for tuning into the C-Jack podcast. I know we're kind of running a little bit long this episode, but hey, man, that's how me and Mac do it. We sit down and we could talk for hours and hours and hours. This could have been easily a 3.5 hour podcast. Normally I go about 40 minutes, but when me and Mac sit down, it's hard to just go 40 minutes. We just sit down and we shoot the shit and we just talk, and it just naturally flows between us. That's how the best podcasts work. That's how the best entertainment works. Is it just naturally flows. He really I think he brings out something in me that a lot of people, not that they can't, but a lot of people haven't tried, and that is the encouragement he's given me. He gave me the encouragement to do this podcast, so now I do it on a weekly basis. He's the one that gave me the encouragement to try out wrestling, and I did, and I enjoyed it. And now he's encouraging me to become a WWE superstar and or just a normal professional wrestler in general. And he really does. He has faith in me, and I'm very humbled by it, and I'm very thankful that I have someone like him I can call my friend, and that I can say I have someone like him that believes in me and truly does just want to see other people succeed and do good in their lives, because we don't have enough of that in the world today. He really is a special kind of cat, and thank you, Mac. I don't really have a lot of words to say. I'm truly humbled by your presence and the attitude that you have. It really does make me feel like I'm doing some good in the world, and I'm glad you encourage me to do stuff that I love, like this podcast, like getting into wrestling. I love the way that you challenge me to cut promos at random. Quite frankly, I don't really think I'm that good on it. I think I have a long way to go, but I think with work I can do better. And practice makes perfect. And you seem to make me practice a lot every time we get together. You try to make me practice on promos and some other stuff, and I'm just glad that I can call you my friend. I can't wait to have you on my podcast next time. So until next time, this has been the CJack Podcast. You can find me on Twitter at only1CJack. Please go ahead and do that WrestleMania Photoshop like he was talking about with CM Punk and AJ Styles. And like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. If you have any questions for Mac, send them in. I would love to have Mac back on the show. Maybe we can do one where we just you ask Mac and me questions. I think it would do very good. And I would love to do like a Mac and CJack show where we just get on here, the podcast every week. Unfortunately, the way our schedules are, we can't do that. But I can have Mac back on the podcast a few more times, and just whenever our schedules match up. So Mac will be back on the podcast, guys. This isn't the last you're going to see of Mac, and this isn't the last you're going to hear of Mac either. When you hear about sometime in the future, I'm not sure how near it is or how far away it is, but at some point in the future, you will hear about the guy who has broken the record and became the oldest rookie in the NBA, and who is probably actually challenged a lot because of his age and everything by the younger guys, but who will be able to hang with the younger guys and never miss a step, and that will be my buddy Mac. He is going to be in the NBA. He is going to. I truly believe he will be in the NBA. He will be on a team that wins the championships, and he will walk away a champion before he hangs up his basketball sneakers and retires and retires and decides to call it quits. So until next time, this has been the CJack. I am the host, CJack. Catch me on Twitter. Mac will be back at a later date. So until next time, I will catch your ass down the road. Thanks.